We used EQ8 and now I'm sewing my leftover blocks into something beautiful. So come sew with me.
Good morning, gifted crafters. It's crafting time.
Me and my friends are having a great time. It's not face to face, it's all online. We're all in our homes, miles away. Love them like my family, what can I say? My crafting show is on, it's my time for me. Laughter, tips and tricks, this is what I need. We're here to have fun, we're all in the zone. When crafting with friends, you'll never...
Live from the Sunshine State in Miami, Florida, here is the Gifted Crafters Morning Show with Nancy.
Good time. Time to get our craft on. Time to have fun. Time to feel good.
Good morning, Gifted Crafters, and welcome back to the Gifted Crafters Morning Show. Good morning out there. We've got people that tune in from all over the world, and they just love crafting. So if that's something that you're into, you're definitely in the right place. My name is Nancy with GiftsHQ, and we just love knitting, crocheting, decoupage, sewing, quilting, and just so much more. So you are in the right place. If that's something that you're into, go ahead and put your name in the chat and say hello to everyone out there, because we've got an awesome community and we just have lots of fun. So we're here Monday through Friday, and we like to put a little giggle in your day just to start your day off the right way. So let's see who we have with us this morning. I see Barb Chumley from Illinois. Good morning to you. Hope you're staying nice and warm. We've got Faker McFake with us this morning. Good morning. Our friends from Canada are here with us today. We've got Bettina Fink. Good morning to you. Let's see. We've got Alice. Good morning. And she's saying good morning to Mr. H as well. Yes, he is here with me. Our little sidekick here helps me out with all the graphics and does a fantastic job. So go ahead and say hello to him too in the chat. All right, we've got Lisa Lilly from Richmond, Illinois. Good morning to you. We've got Lori from Forest, Virginia. Good morning to you. We've got Keisha from Tennessee. Awesome. Thanks for joining. We've got Robin's Quilt Basket. We've got Jenny Owens. Good morning to you guys. We've got Sue Galvin. Good morning to you. Guys, I hope you really enjoy today's session. We're going to have a lot of fun in talking about all kinds of things, and we're going to get to all of that in just a second. Also got some information to share with you today. Cindy Ball, good morning to you from Florida. We've got Doris, good morning. JBL, good morning and happy Wednesday. Yes, yes, happy Wednesday it is. Happy hump day. Yay. All righty, let's see. We've got Melinda. Good morning to you. We've got Jackie Hallman. We've got, let's see, Lori Berry. Good morning. Bettina. We've got Melissa. Good morning. Shay Shay. Good morning. Let's see. I think we've got so many. We've got Julia from Texas. Good morning. And guys, I really appreciate all of your support. You guys are just absolutely amazing. We've got Joyce here here from Philly. And I hope I'm able to kind of put a little smile, at least just a little smile, on your day today. Okay. So, like I mentioned, we have a few announcements to make, some sales that I want to kind of tell you about. Before we get into any of that, let's go ahead and start off like we always do with our little toast, shall we? Okay, so today I've got my ice water here. It's already warmed up in Miami, I can tell you. It has. It's getting really warm now. And you know, I know you guys still up north are still struggling with that cold, so I am gonna give this toast so that you guys can kind of stay a little bit warm and have a nice little hump day, right? We're in the middle of the week, we're almost there, so just hang on, guys. Throwing a little bit of sunshine your way, hopefully that you guys can stay nice and toasty. Yeah, and happy hump day, guys. Cheers, everyone. Raise it nice and high. If you don't have a cup, I will pour you a cup. So let's go ahead and raise them nice and high. Coffee, tea, soda, water, doesn't matter what you have. Raise it nice and high and say cheers, guys. All right. Maybe you want a double swivel, huh? Okay. That works for me, right? Good morning, Marge from Wisconsin. Good morning. Okay, so now that we've got our little drinks, let's go grab some snacks. I want to get you guys all settled in, so grab some snacks. I think, let's see, what are we doing today? Is it the food truck?
Shack.
A food shack. Oh, we're gonna go head over to the shack. Well, yeah, let's get some warmth out there. Okay, let's head on over there. Go ahead and put your orders in. It's totally free. Anything that you want. Coffee, tea, soda, water. We've got bacon and eggs, I think, that were on the grill this morning. So go ahead and put that in. We've got the drone deliveries. They will deliver to you. So go ahead, if you're in your toasty little bed and you don't want to get up, you can just put your drone delivery. It will be there, and we're not going to crash or anything, okay? No fires, no crashing. Our drones are going to stay nice and safe there. Okay, so don't forget to, you know, you can't feed the dolphins, and, you know, you can't be in the beach all day long, right? You just got to get there, get your snacks, and then go back to your craft room, because we've got a lot of stuff to do. All right, guys, you've got all of your stuff here. Hope you're in your cozy little spot here as well. Oh, you've got some jazz music playing. Awesome. Faker McFay, she's got it going on this morning. Awesome. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So I have a few things to let you know about. So connecting threads. We've talked about how you can sign up and get the free magazine, and they've got all kinds of different things that you can get. Some really beautiful quilt kits at some reasonable prices. And so, you know, I know that on here, there's quite a few things that are absolutely stunning, and I really, really believe that I may be getting just a couple more things from them. But they are having a fantastic sale. They were letting me know about the link is in the description below here. In February, they're having a tiered thread sale where you can get from 20 to 30% off with a code, and the code is 2thread26, and that sale is happening up through February the 14th, so they've got all kinds of threads that are going on sale there. They've also have a yardage sale that's going to be coming up. I'm really excited about that. They're going to have yardage sales, and it's going to range from $5, $7, and $9. And let me tell you guys, those go really, really fast. Their fabrics are really high quality, very, very nice fabrics that they sell, and they're going to have that. And if you remember, the event from November, you know that the prices drop, and they drop really fast, and they go really fast. So kind of set your reminders on that one, because if you want to get something that's really, really nice, it's going to go really fast. And the sale is going to be at $5, $7, and $9 a yard. So That's something that's coming from the 15th of February through the 19th. And they're also going to have a free shipping day on the 24th with the code 2FREESHIPPING26. So if you want to see more information, you can head over to their website. Go ahead and click on the link below. My link will take you to their site and you can see all of the sales that they're going to have there. And guys, if you use the link, I'd really appreciate it because we're affiliated with them now. So it's really, really nice. And I love being affiliated with something, with a company that I really love, and I love their quality. So very, very nice. Okay, so just wanted to let you know about that. And let's see my other announcement for those of you who have not tuned in. Lakeland, Florida, March 19th, 20th, and 21. I will be at the Sewing and Quilting Expo. Let me know if you will be there. I would love to meet you, and we'll do a little meet and greet somewhere. We will set up a location right there in the expo so we can meet up and have some chats, right? Lots and lots of fun. So we'll definitely be doing a lot of shopping and looking around on here. This is a fantastic place to just get some inspiration, check out the machines, demos, take some classes. It's just really a lot of fun. So if you've never been to an expo, this is really a fantastic expo. And you may win a sewing machine or two, right? So you always got that. All right, so those are the announcements that I wanted to make with you. Let's kind of do a recap. So let's go ahead. We'll bring the laptop over just so I can kind of recap with you guys here. Let's see if we can show that. So this is their website, Connecting Threads, and they've got all of the items here, from fabrics and pre-cuts to kits, batting, patterns, and so much more. So they've got tons of things here, and you can get all kinds of sales that are going on. There's that thread blowout sale that we're talking about, and there's the code in case you missed it. But really, really beautiful fabrics, and that's a fun place to shop if you have not shopped there. So let's go over and let's look at EQ8, because that's what we did yesterday, and I want to just kind of recap with you. So I'm going to go ahead and open an existing project, and I'm going to pull up this project right here, and this is where we kind of left off here. I'm going to go ahead and hit OK, and that's how easy. Oops, I forgot I already have it open. I forgot that do I have it open? I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me see. Or did I close it? I don't remember. I think well, let's start over and we'll just grab that again, shall we? Just in case. I don't remember if I left it open or not. So let's go ahead and pull that open. We're going to open existing project. We're going to pull up that one here. And here we go. And so now that we're here, we're going to go ahead, and there's a couple things you can do. You can copy this to a photo. You can edit it. You can edit any notes that you have on here. If you have a little note card that you created, so you can add some notes on here. But we're going to go ahead and hit edit on here. It'll bring up the quilt. And so you can see on here, you can go ahead from here. I can go ahead and print out all of the things that I need for this particular quilt. And there's several options here. So you can print out the quilt itself, and it'll give you a nice picture of the quilt. And I did do that. And this is what it looks like when you print it out. So let's flip over here. So this is what it looks like when it prints it out. Prints it full color, or you can print it in black and white if you want. It does give you that option. Gives it a nice title on the top, and it tells you the overall size of the quilt. So let's take a look at that here on the desk cam. That's what it looks like here. Don't mind my little black specks on the paper. Got issues with my printer that I just haven't had time to fix. So that's what it'll look like when you just print out the quilt. You can also print out the yardage, the block templates, and I'm going to show you how easy it is. But when you print out the yardage, this is what you will get. You will get a very nice list of all of the different fabrics or colors you have here. It's going to tell you how many you need of each one and a yardage estimate for them. And then here on the side, if you use the fabric selection where you were looking at a specific fabric, it will tell you the name of the fabric. And that's what you will see here. So it's basically tell you what the name of the fabric is. It even gives you the little SKU number. And if in the event you have to kind of go back and repurchase some more. So kind of keeps track of that. And so now you'll know, if you ever want to come back and remake this quilt and you don't remember what you use, it has everything here listed for you, including the SKU number. So you're able to kind of reorder. So that's some of the printouts that you can get, but there's more. There's so much more. This little program really does a lot. Other things that you can do, right? I can go ahead and I can print out just the template of the block. So here is the block itself, or it will print out an actual size, a little template that I can use, right? To cut out exactly, right? It'll also do, let's say I decided, you know what? I don't want to piece this together. I want to do paper piecing, and maybe you have some newspaper-like type of paper where you can put it on your printer and print out the design. It'll do the paper piecing for you. It'll even number it for you if you want it to. You can tell it not to number it if you prefer to do that yourself, but it will number the pieces for you. So let's take a look at that really quick on here. On the desk cam, if we can flip over to that, you're going to see this is the paper piecing version. Again, just don't look at my little speckles on there, but you can see here it has already named this A1. This is A2. Then you have B1 and B2. So you already know how to do the paper piecing, and it includes the seam allowance here for you. And there's all kinds of options on the system, whether if you don't want the seam allowance and whatnot, like there's tons of options that you can do. So you can kind of customize this any way you want. So let's go back to EQ8 now so I can show you that. There we go. So this is where you would get all of that. So here is the quilt. That's the picture that we printed. The yardage is what you would want to do. If you want to do fat quarters only, you have to tell it what you want the seam allowance to be, and it will do all of this for you. The block itself, if that's something that you want, you first have to kind of click on the block, and then you click block, and then you can go ahead and put the name of the block if you have a specific name for this block, and you can do all kinds of things as an applique pattern, as a quilting stencil, as an outline drawing. You can show the fabrics on here or not, right? There's tons and tons of options. So I really just wanted to run through that with you. We've got templates on here. Again, you can do it with the seam allowance or you can do it without. You can use solid seam line allowance lines, right? You can change the thickness of the lines. Maybe you want to make them a little bit darker, right? Nice things that you can do. You can mirror the block here. That will flip it for you. And there's not just so many options. You can do foundation. All right, so here's the foundation paper piecing. It divides your block into the section and it numbers them. And if you want to section and number it yourself, you just click the little box and it does it for you. So nice options for you. There's all kinds of other options here. Rotary cutting is another one. It'll tell you how to cut it. You know, there's just so many things here that you can do. So I really encourage you to play around with the software because there's just tons that you can do on here. And you can really, what I really love, this is kind of a program that also helps me keep track of my inventory of my fabrics. So I can take pictures of all my fabrics and import them into the software so that it knows these are the fabrics that I have in my stash. Help me make a quilt. and you can so easily put something together. You know, you can do a new quilt, and you can just go ahead and pick all kinds of things, right? There's so many different things that you can do, and it'll tell you, and you will know just based off of the system if you can make that quilt, and you can make it with your stash. So very, very nice, very easy to work with. So I just wanted to kind of go through that really quickly with you guys. Okay, so we're going to go ahead. I'm going to put this over to the side because we've done all our EQ8 work. We've got our printouts. We know what we're going to be putting together. And now I have my scraps here on the side. I have gone ahead and I have taken my blocks and I trimmed them up. So I got rid of all those little dog ears that were hanging out on the side. So I went ahead and did that. So these are all squared up for me, ready to go. And I also cut out my sashing based off of EQ8 and what it told me, right? So I cut that out, and then I have my cornerstones right here. So we're just going to kind of put this together, and we're going to go ahead and use these scraps and make them into something beautiful. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to set this over to the side. And these are the fabrics that I selected. So just something from my stash. We've got the white on white fabric and just kind of a little teal-like color I thought would work really great with this. So that's the fabric that I picked. We're gonna kind of head on over. And again, I squared it up. Oh, one thing I wanna mention, as I was squaring it up, I usually take my 6.5 inch ruler, right? Because we squared them off at 6.5 inches. And I usually use my OmniGuard ruler, but in the Cupid box that we got from the Fat Quarter Shop, they gave us this, they're calling it Cute Cuts. It's a 6.5 inch ruler as well for trimming. And one thing that I noticed that this ruler has that my OmniGrid does not have, is got that nice little crosshair in the middle. So OmniGuard only has that one diagonal line going at the 45-degree angle going across, and this one has, if you guys can see, a little crosshatch right there in the middle. Really became nice and handy, and I'll show you why I really loved it. And let me just pull one. So, you know, rulers, when you're shopping for your rulers and you're first getting into quilting, you're not really sure what to look for in a ruler, but you know, the more lines probably the better, right? But I'm going to show you here as I place it on top, what this little crosshair allows me to do is then line this up right in the middle here. And I am lining up, let me see here. Yeah, you love this pink Cute Cuts ruler. I do. I think it's just so, so cute. And it's really a nice idea, just having that crosshair right in the middle. It's a very simple ruler, doesn't have too much, but it has exactly what you need, right? You can see the 1/4 inch seam here going all the way around, and that nice crosshair in the middle really makes it handy. So you can see right here where my seam line is going all the way across. So I was able to not just line it up this way and line it up this way, and that really makes sure that I am right there in the center. So I really loved how this ruler did that versus the other ruler. I would normally just kind of go ahead and line up just this line right here, right? I don't have another another 45-degree angle going the other way. Now I'm sure I can dig through my drawers and I'll have other rulers that do that, but it's really nice having that square that you need, in our case 6.5 inches, and it goes right on top and you're able to see. Now the other thing is that this ruler is pretty busy, so it makes it a little bit difficult to see through it a little bit here. So I have to say that for this particular step where I am squaring off, using this ruler really made it handy because I was really able to see, because it's nice and simple. I can see right through it, and the crosshair that's right there in the middle really helped me to make sure that I am nice and centered, and then I was able to trim off all the excess that was on the sides. So I really like that, and I just wanted to point that out to you guys. So if you're shopping for rulers, you know, think about what you're going to be using the ruler for, because it really does make a difference when you're putting things together and piecing. Okay, so let's come on over here, and I'm going to have to wake up Miss Molly over here. Let me scoot that out of the way. So for Miss Molly, I had to go back, changed her foot, changed her plate back to the original one, so she's got all her stuff right here. So alrighty, wakey Miss Molly. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take one of our strips. Here's our sashing strip, and we're gonna line it up with one, and I'll take this one here on the top. And I'm going to go ahead and line this up here. So let me scoot her over just a bit. This is what it's going to look like based off of our picture, right? We've got our cornerstones and our sashing that's going to be on the top. And let me just grab the cornerstone. There he is. And then we're going to have our strip right here. Our little sashing is going to be connected to our block, and we'll have another one on the other side here, and yet another little cornerstone right here. So we're going to be sewing, it's going to be one long strip of cornerstone sashing, and we'll continue it till you get to the end. And let me scoot this a little bit more. Hope you guys can see that well. And then for that next row, it's going to be the sashing, the block, the sashing, the block, until you get to the other side, right? So, a little bit of a glare here. Sorry about that. So that's what's going to make up this piece, and then we're just going to repeat that all the way down till we get to the end. So we're going to kind of put all of this together, and I'm just going to start with this bottom row right here because it's closer to me. And I'm just going to do right sides together, and we're just going to piece this together. So what we want to do, and what you're looking for here, is to go ahead and do this as accurate as you can, okay? So we're going to put this together, and we're going to put these together here. So you want to make sure you are right sides together. You're going to be sewing these two pieces. Now, always keep in mind looking at the block, because if you notice on our printout, we changed and we flipped this around, right? So we have this horizontal, then vertical, then horizontal. So you can do it that way, or you can do them all vertical or all horizontal. It's up to you. I wanted to kind of spin them around and do something a little different. So we're going to try to see how accurate our piecing comes out to be. So let's go ahead and do that. So I've got this in place. Let me go ahead and grab a couple of pins. I'm gonna scoop this just a tad here. And I've got my little Valentine's Day pins that I'm gonna use just to kind of pin this in place right here. And again, I am going to take another one and pin it the opposite direction, because I am sewing going this way. So this pin's not going to help me too much, but this pin is going to hold my fabric in place. It's going to lock it in place so it does not move, okay? And so I'm going to do that, but I don't like how I pinned this here. So let me undo this here and do this again. This one's kind of a little bit of a wonky-ish piece here. It looks kind of weird. Okay, I think it was just how I was holding it there. So I'm going to go ahead, pin this one, and I will pin it the other way. And then I'll do the same thing on the other corner. So I'll flip this over, pin it, and pin it again. And this just really reinforces it so it does not move around on you, okay? And you're going to do the same thing on the other side. Right sides together. I'm just going to go ahead and pin them both now. And then I'll show this up close in just a second here. And notice I am pinning it just a little bit down and away from my seam allowance. That way I don't have to fiddle with it later. And it's kind of out of my way. So I'm just kind of rotate this here where I can see it a little better. And let's see, I am off just a tad on this one. Let me scoot this. Sometimes you kind of have to use your fingernails to kind of scratch it a little bit to get it to move just a tad. There we go. That's a little better. Okay. And 2 more on the other side. Scoot that a little bit away. And 1 more. Okay. So this is how I like to pin it. And let's go over to desktop. Okay, Mr. H is having some fun over there. Yeah, that's not the desk cam. There we go. He's having some fun with you guys over there. Okay, so we've got over here the little corner nice and pinned in both directions, right? Because we're going to be sewing in this direction, this pin is really not helping me very much because as you pull, it can slide up and down this needle. So it's not really holding too much. What it is holding is this end right here, right? Making sure that this is not going to get eaten away when it goes through the machine. So I have this pinned on this side, but this pin really is the one that's doing the work where it is holding the fabric in place so it does not move. So that's why I do it on one corner and I do it on the other corner. So I have all my corners here nice and secure. Now I can bring it to my machine and we can go ahead and piece this together. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to bring her on over. Okay. And I've got her all set up and ready to go. I'm going to line her up. Can we get sew cam? Yeah, Mr. H is just having some fun today with you guys, huh? Yeah.
It's Sue Galvin's fault.
Uh-huh.
And Lisa.
It's always someone's fault, right? Yeah, uh-huh. Okay, guys. I'm going to go ahead and line her up here. And I'm right on that 1/4 inch seam. I'm using my diagonal seam tape right there. Got her lined up just about a little bit over on her foot. So let me adjust just a tad there. There we go. And you can see my pin is out of the way here. I'm going to take a couple stitches and then I will move the pin out of the way. So let's go ahead and do that. And then I'll just slide this off and get this going. Again, I'm doing a 1/4 inch seam here. Okay, supporting the fabric as I go along, and then as I approach the next one, again, making sure I'm lined up, I'm gonna slide that pin off, and then I'm going to grab the edge of this fabric with my finger, and I'm gonna go ahead and finish up that seam, okay? This way, I am able to still keep the pins on this edge and the other end in place so that these end pieces do not move. So you can see there is my 1/4 inch seam. And now I can remove these pins and then we will press these down into place. Before we do that, I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to go ahead and sew the other side. Okay, so this makes it just go a little bit faster. And so I like this method a little. It's almost like a chain piecing, right? If you have all of your blocks and you pin them all at once and then you just bring them all to your machine, you can sew them in one big batch, right? Go ahead and remove. Oops, I'm a little off here, just a tad. Wasn't paying attention there, but that's okay. We'll just deal with it. Not my best there. Wasn't really looking. Let's see. Let's see how far off we are. So we can line this up with our diagonal seam tape. It's not too bad. Maybe about not even 1/8 of an inch. So it's not too bad. I'm just going to leave it as it is. And there we go. And now I'm going to remove my pins. Okay. Let's get these pins on my little magnet here on the side. And so now I'll be able to press these open, and we'll be able to kind of now move forward and attach the next blocks, right? So we can go ahead and do these. And again, you're just making sure on the orientation, right? You want to make sure that you are placing this the correct way. So let's scoot this over just a tad. So we've got our first block kind of going this way here, right? Horizontal. And our next block is going to be vertical. So we don't want it like this. We want to turn it this way. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put these right sides together. We'll go ahead and sew this, but you'll still have to attach the other one on the other end. So let's grab another sashing strip here, and let's go ahead, make sure it is right sides together, and I'm just going to kind of layer down right here, and then grab your pins again and pin her in place. Okay. All right, let's just take her there. And we'll flip her over, and I will get her here. Perfect. Okay. So how many of you guys have some scraps out there, you know, that you're sure you can do some stuff with it, but you're not quite sure what to do? Well, you know, that little program is really amazing for that. I really like how you can kind of take pictures of your fabric and, you know, have that little inventory, which is really nice. Okay. All right. So there we go. And then we're going to just kind of go right on top here and align these up together with the sashing. And you can go ahead and do that. But I really want to give this a quick little press. So let's kind of pull these over to the side. I'm going to bring my little mini ironing board here, and I will turn on my little iron here because I really like to kind of press as I go. I think it just makes such a difference when you are piecing things together. And let's see here, gotta find a little empty outlet here. Cannot quite get it. Hold on. There we go. Okay, this iron heats up pretty quickly, so we don't have to wait too long. Okay. Hey, Patches. Yes, we've got our little dog, Patches. He's just such a great dog. I don't have to do anything with him, you know? He kind of takes care of himself. Really, really cool. Don't even have to walk him. Walks himself. And he goes to bed. Yeah, he's a good dog. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and lay this flat, and I'm going to finger press this down a little bit. Great thing about Patches is he doesn't even fight with the birdies, because those birdies, man, they've been yapping away lately. I think they're just wanting spring to come, because they just have been a little bit rambunctious lately. Let's see, do we have a question out there? Yes. What starch are you using? Well, for this particular project, I didn't even starch it, because these are just, well, actually, no, I did when I initially started the first project. Yeah, I take that back. So these are leftover from the original project, and you can see my starch here. There's several ones that I use. Honestly, can't remember which one it was that I used.
That's press because the house smelled like lavender.
Yeah, most likely. Here is, yeah, I think you're right. If I remember right, I was on the phone with my sister and I was starching
Oh, was it false?
and she was
Maybe
making
Cindy's
fun of
right.
me.
I don't know.
Yeah, because this one is my favorite. It's lavender scent. It's Best Press. And I was on the phone with her when I was initially starching all of the fabrics for that quilt. So yeah, it was Mary Ellen's Best
Maybe it's
Press.
faultless. I don't know.
No, it was Best Press because I remember my sister making fun of me because she says, you know, I'm in love with this scent. It has that lavender scent. I really love it. I just love to kind of starch with this because I think it just makes the house smell so good. You want to kind of just starch all day long. So yeah, this is the one that I was using, but I starched it when I was initially doing the project, so I'm not going to starch it again now, but I think it's really, really a nice scent. And there's all kinds of scents. I think she likes the linen one. I like the lavender, so I don't know, but yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and press this here. But since I had already starched it, and these are all just leftovers, that's what this is. So there you go. And so it's nice and flat, and it looks absolutely gorgeous there. And so we're ready to just, you know, attach our next piece. And so let me scoot this to the side here. And then I can go ahead and line this up here and do right sides together. And now I have a nice flat surface. See, if I didn't iron it, it would be a little bumpy. Can you do it? Yeah, you can. But this just makes it more accurate, and I like to kind of do it this way. And so now I'll just grab my little heart pins here, and I'm gonna go ahead and pin this together. And I like to pin them again. I like to pin on both sides so that I know it's not going to shift on me. And so I'm going to grab this here, pin that together, and then I'll go back and pin it the other way. Okay. So you can flip this over here, make sure that it's nice and aligned, and then pin it the other way. Okay, one more pin. Here we go. Okay, now that we've got it pinned in place, I can go ahead and bring this over to my sewing machine. We can also kind of look at the strip that we're going to have on top, and you'll see how this one starts to come together. So it's going to be really easy to go ahead and pin this. So let's slide this over. We've got Miss Molly on some little moving, what do you call these? The little sliders, I guess, right? Furniture sliders. Yes, thank you. And so it kind of helps me. It helps me a little bit there, and I can keep that into place. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this side here that's connected to the other block. And this is where, if you have an extension table, it really is nice to use it. Mine's is a little bit too big to be able to use with the camera, but you see how your fabric is kind of flopping over to the side of your machine. And this is why I like to pin on both sides here, because as it's flipping over to the side, it can kind of shift like this. And what that does, although you're not sewing on this side, what it can do is shift your fabric on this side here. Because of the weight of the fabric and because it's hanging over the side, it's going to go ahead and pull on one side, and then that's going to distort this seam right here, and you can actually sew inaccurately. So having that extension table really helps for you to be able to lay it flat, and so it won't have any drag on either side. Oops, I just took my thread off of my needle, but it won't have any drag on either side here, and that will help you to then stay on that accurate 1/4 inch seam. So if you're struggling with your 1/4 inch seams, take a look at how you are sewing this and seeing if you have any drag on this side. And let's take it off of the sewing view. There we go. So I think it shows it a little better. So again, as you're sewing here, you've got your fabric hanging off the side here. That is pulling and pulling some drag on here. Okay, if you have that extension table, it keeps it nice and flat, and so you get a more accurate seam because you're able to kind of pull this through and not have that drag here. And you can see here, if I let it drop, I can see if I pull this a little bit, I could kind of be misaligned here, right? Because it would be pulled. Let's say my sweater kind of got hung up on it and pulled it a little bit. And so then from here, now you cannot sew an accurate seam, although your pins are holding it in place, and that's their job, is to hold it. But you want to make sure that that pull doesn't affect your sewing. So always try to use an extension table if you can, or just really make sure that you pin it well in place and really give it the support that you need with your hands so that the fabric doesn't shift around you on you while you are trying to sew it in place. Okay, so that's what I just wanted to kind of mention, that because some people get a little frustrated and say, well, I'm doing all the pinning and I'm still, my accuracy is still not there. But you do have to look at these other things that can impact this. So make sure that you got your hand placement and you're supporting your fabric so that this stays nice and in place. Okay, I did take my thread off my needle, so I will need to kind of rethread this. And I got my really quick way of doing it. Oh, wait, I have it on this side. So I'm just gonna do it the good old-fashioned way, just because I'm just so used to doing it this way.
And for those that want to put me in a doghouse.
Uh-oh, do we have people that want to put you in the doghouse?
Yes, they do.
Oh, what did you do now? I'm telling you, Mr. H is always doing something to get himself in trouble.
I try to be nice, you know.
Uh-huh, sure. Uh-huh. All right, so I'm going to put this thread towards the back, and let's bring our project back up and line her back up here. So I'm going to just line her up as best I can on here. Okay, again, hand support, really important because I'm not using my extension table. So really important that you make sure that she is lined up well and not pulling in any way. Okay, and then just walk your hand over and make sure she's nice and straight. And then we can do a couple of threads. Then I'll go ahead and remove the pin. There we go. Okay. Now, there we are. Support it all the way to the end here, okay? Make sure you do that. All right, now I know that my cut was just a little bit off, so I was compensating for it. And you can do that in the seam allowance as you go along. So definitely want to make sure that that happens here. Now I can see here, I kind of ran out of bobbin, didn't I? Yes, I did. Bobbin chicken won again. So let's go ahead and change out the bobbin. So I'll go ahead, pull that out of the way. Open that up. I'm going to reach out and grab her. I already have a bobbin wound up already, so I'll go ahead and remove her. I like to leave her right on the top just because it makes it a little bit easier for me. Okay. And I don't know if we can get a close-up of this. It's kind of hard because I don't know if I'll have enough space here, but let me, well, then it's kind of an awkward thing for me because I can't see what I'm doing if I do that. We'll try the sew cam, I guess. Do we have the sew cam? Okay, here we go. So we're putting this in. And then you're going to look, you're going to kind of pull on the thread, make sure she is going counterclockwise. And then you're going to go up here and over, or actually on this side, I'll go on this side because it's closer. And you're looking for that little opening. You're going to go down and around, and you're going to snap it into place. And then you kind of just hold the bobbin here. It slides down just barely, so that's how you can kind of test your tension a little bit. I don't know if they can see that. Kind of hard to show in this little angle here. And my thread's a little long, so I'm going to cut it a little bit here. And then I'm going to go ahead and pop her right back into place here. And snap her back in. You always want to hear that little snap. And there she is. Let me tuck her in there. And I have a little piece of scrap fabrics. And I think I had ran out last time. I do have, well, I have one here that we can use. And I still need to go ahead and rethread this here. Oh, the joys of setting everything up, right? When it becomes undone, you have to be ready to just kind of put everything back in place. Okay, let's see here. I cannot feel it. Why can I feel it? Usually get these, okay, here it is. Usually get these pretty well. So, whoops. It's hard to do this with the camera, guys. Cameras, cameras, cameras. No, let's see. Camera's in the way all the time, but we'll get there. There we go. Okay, let me release the tension and pull this just a tad. And I'm going to slide this underneath the foot and send that to the back. All righty. Let's see here. We can do needle up, needle down, and I can see the bobbin there. And then I want to do a little test. This is my little testing here. You can see I've been practicing some of my free motion here, just doing lines, going away, go all the way around. I did like a little heart somewhere around here. There's threads all over the place because I kind of use this as just scrap. But you can see some of it back here. And just all kinds of crazy things that I do. So this is just my little test fabric. It's always great to have a couple of these around. And let me just go ahead and test this out. Yeah, I think we are good. We can see the nice little line right there. So perfect. Okay. We're ready to get going again. So when your bobbin runs out on you, and you want to kind of just go back into place. So I'm going to replace my project underneath the needle, sending my thread to the back. And I'm going to back up to where, this is where the bobbin ran out right here. So I go back a couple of stitches here and I try to line up, and let me bring Miss Molly a little closer to me. I want to try to line her up right back where we left off. And so I can see the stitches. I know it's hard for you guys to see, but I can see the stitches right in between here. And that's the line that I want to continue to go in. So what you can do is you can use the manual wheel. If you really want to make sure you get it accurately, just bringing down the wheel to make sure it's hitting that stitch, right? Or you can do needle up and needle down and see where that lands. And that's pretty good right there. So I think we're good with that. So now I'm just going to go ahead and finish up that seam. There we go. And let's see if you can see, well, you can see where the bobbin stopped. And you can see that thread right here. Can you see the seam? It's kind of hard to see with the glare. See if I can get some of this glare off. Let me kind of tilt it this way. Yeah, you can kind of see it there. So you see where it ends here and it started here again. So we kind of pick up where we left off. So that's what you can do for that. And now I can take the rest of my pins off here and open this up. And so we have it in place. And so we still have the other side. Let's go ahead and sew that one really quick. Then we'll bring it over to our iron. So I'm going to go ahead and pull these in place. Make sure I don't have too much drag and I'm supporting it underneath here. Nice and straight. Couple stitches in so I can slide off my first pin here and then just continue the rest. Okay. And again, sliding off that other pin and giving it the support all the way down. Okay, cut your threads and remove those extra pins because we're ready to just bring this to our little ironing board and press this open. Okay. Now, in terms of the seam allowances, it's really up to you if you want to press them open or if you want to just pull them to the side. I'm fine with them going to one side. I think it's better when you do it to the sides because then you can kind of use that when you are doing your second row to kind of align this up, right? So it just makes it a little bit easier when you can bump up the seams together when you are putting your rows together. So that just makes it a little bit easier to see. And then of course on the end, we're gonna go ahead and flatten this out. And you can see how easy this is coming together. You're just going to continue to repeat these over and over again until you have all of your blocks in your row that you were looking to do. We've got one final one here, so we'll go ahead and I can line that up and sew that into place. Okay, and then I'll put one more sashing towards the end to kind of clean that up. So I'll just continue to do these rows, and then tomorrow we will align the rows all together to finish this up, and I'll go ahead and sew these cornerstones to my sashing as well. So it'll be a lot of fun, and we'll see our nice completed little, it can be a wall hanging, it can be a pillowcase, it can be a table topper, it can be anything that you want it to be. We'll take a look at it once it's all put together and we'll decide what we're going to use this for. All right, guys. Wow. Our hour went by really quick. We still only have about 4 minutes left. Let me see if I can go ahead and pin this together while we're here. I wanted to kind of glance on the chat. I know you guys have been chatting away with Mr. H, so I hope he didn't get himself in trouble again. But
the chat got deleted, I think.
Yeah, the chat did not get deleted. Sorry. No, I have to wait for it to render to see the replay, but yeah, I don't think so. So I know that you guys have a lot of fun with Mr. H, and I love it. Let's see. Oh, Cindy, you like my fabric choices? Yeah, well, this was all part of that initial quilt that I did, and I'm going to be sending that quilt away using the voucher my sister gave me to get quilted, and we're going to see how they do on that one. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Uh-oh. Why do you think patches showed up? Not sure about that, Cindy, but I'm sure I will find out why. Thanks for the heads up. I'll definitely find out later on today, I'm sure. Yeah, they don't need the distraction. They're good. You're giving them a fashion show. Well, I'm going to go ahead and sew up this seam here. Let me move that pin out of the way. There we go. Move this one out the way too. Okay. Let me pull out these pins here. Okay. There we go. Pulling out the pins, and I can give it one more press. And I have it on this side, so I'm just going to go ahead and press it from here. And we've got our first row. We just have the sashing we need to put on this end here, and we'll be all set. And we've got that first row completed. So loving that. It's really getting put together nicely, and I really can't wait to see it all put together here. All right, awesome. Love that. Can you see that here? Yeah, it's coming out pretty well. So now, oh, Joyce is saying, thanks for reintroducing me to EQ. Yes, you had forgotten about the program. Now, thanks to you, I have to upgrade. Yes, definitely do the upgrades. You definitely want to see that. They've got a few blocks that they've put in place there. All right, guys, our hour is up. Thank you all for all of your support. I truly appreciate all of you just kind of hanging out with me this morning. Hope you had some fun, maybe got a little giggle or two, or maybe Mr. H can give you some giggles in the chat. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I hope to be crafting with you soon. Bye, everyone.
Say Mr. H, say Mr. H.
So long for now, so long. Glad you stayed a while. Hope you liked my crafting style. Hope I left you with a smile. By now, keep your mind and space clutter free. Hope your day is bright as can be. So long, my friends, till we craft once again. Bye now, stay crafting. See you tomorrow. So long, my friends, till we craft once again.